This is question 5, and I've got a nice circuit here, and they are providing some power, some voltage, current, putting current through this resistor, and that is heating up, and we can measure the change in temperature of the water. It's a little bit similar to your measuring the energy in fuels experiment, same sort of thing. And you could do QMACAT on this. You could measure the energy supplied and so on to this water. So, what do you need to do? You need to evaluate the method, the results, and the conclusion. That's what's needed, an evaluation. And the learner has concluded that up to 36 watts, so there's the power there, so they reckon that up to 36 there's a proportional increase in the temperature, and above 36 down here it's no longer proportional. And probably they're right, because this goes up 12, 24, it adds 12 on each time, and this adds 10 on each time, so that looks proportional. So we'd expect this to add, it added 12 on again, so does it add another 10 on? So that should be 40, and then add another 10 on, that would be 50. So it kind of tails off a bit, so the graph starts off looking like that, and then it kind of tails off a bit. So that's their conclusion, which is from that data is actually, which is alright, which is actually okay. So their conclusion to start off with makes sense. So let's have a look at the method. So can we say some things about the method that we think are okay? So they can measure the power. Yep. So what's good? The power. Well, the power can be calculated, and they can do it quantitatively. So it can be quantitatively measured or calculated. And they've done things in the right sort of way. And then we're looking for, things, controlled variables really that they haven't controlled. So to criticize or to improve. Because remember, we are evaluating pros and cons. Things like, they haven't mentioned the starting temperature of the water, or using the same starting temperature. So need to ensure the same starting temperature of the water. Same volume of water. So it just says place a resistor into a glass beaker of water. Well, what's the volume? It'll take more energy to heat up a larger volume of water, won't it? Same volume of water, same time for heating. Doesn't mention the time. What else have we got? We've got this water here could heat up near the resistor, and that's quite far away from the thermometer. It'd be better if it was stirred, and then that would ensure the same temperature throughout. You might remember, stirring your beakers of water in your experiment with the fuels. So stir the water so the temperature is uniform, so the same all the way. And also we're losing heat out of this beaker, so you're not really measuring that because if it's been lost. So maybe insulate, put a lid on, that sort of thing. So insulate beaker, put a lid on to stop heat loss. So those are the things that are either control variables they haven't mentioned, or problems with measuring what they want accurately. The results collected, well, what did they do that was good? Well, they did collect some results. We could probably make some suggestions for what they're going to do with their results. So results, they've got no repeat readings. They've used quite large intervals of power, so we could use smaller increments, so smaller intervals of power. We've gone up to 60 watts, but that's still quite low really. We could improve this range, so we could use a larger range of power, larger range of power, and that would give us, both those would really give us more, more data points. And it enables us to draw a better graph and make better conclusions. And so when we're on to our conclusions, what can we say? Well, we can tentatively say yes, their conclusion is correct, or it tallies with the data that they've got. So the evidence does support their conclusion, but there's not a lot of evidence, and there's some problems with the experiment. We say, but the evidence is weak. Yes, above 36 it's no longer linear. So yes, above 36 watts the temperature change is not linear. What would we suggest? We suggest need to draw a graph to present the results. And with a larger range, smaller increments, repeats, to improve reliability, then they'll be able to test their conclusion fully.